Hey, Araceli. Want to read a book with me? This is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Hopefully, you have a copy of this. Maybe you've seen the movie. It's a little bit longer, so I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. So I hope you can follow along wherever you are. And yeah, let's read. At the far end of town, where gricklegrass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing except old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, you will look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere from that far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old oncer still lives there. Ask him, he knows. Hmm. You won't see the onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of myth-muff moof. And on special dank nights in August he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. Are you willing to pay? How much does it cost? On the end of a rope he let down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's snail. Do you have any of those things? 15 cents, a nail, a snail shell? Then he pulls up the pail and most careful to make a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you've paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grooveless glove. He then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets he tells are for your ears alone. Look at him hiding in there. Slup. Down slips the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old onceler whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he's had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with the teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days, and the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds still clean, and the song of the Swami songs ran out in space. One morning I came to the glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts on the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. It's beautiful there. Wow. In none of the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splish splashing around. Cool. Beautiful ponds. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had a sweeter smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I'd unload my cart. In no time at all, I built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took a soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. What did he make? A thneed? The instant I finished, I heard a gazup. I looked. I saw something pop up out of a stump of a tree I chopped down, and it was sort of a man. Describe him, that's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy. He spoke with a voice that was sharpish, and bossy. Who is that? Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. I am asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tufts? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I've chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. The thing is a sneed. A sneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or cover, or bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you're crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy that full Sneed. Who would buy that? But that very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at the minute a chap came along, and he thought that the Sneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.38. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy, you never can tell what some people will buy. Somebody bought it. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy. I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called on my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Oncer family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken. Sharp right at South Stitch. He called his family up. And in no time at all in the factory I built, the whole Oncer family was working full tilt. We were all knitting Sneed just as busy as bees to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Then, oh baby, oh, my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented a super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making Sneeds 4 times as fast before. And that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. He's chopping even more trees down. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I am also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to you hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go around. And my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. What's happening to the animals? They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Oncer, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. There we go. I meant no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagon, I biggered the loads. Of Sneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth, to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more Sneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Oops. Getting bigger. Then once again he came back. I was fixing some pipes, when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled and he startled and stiff. Onceler, he cried with a querulous croak, Onceler, you're making so much smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. The birds can't sing their songs. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly a month or a year to escape the frog you smogged up around here. All the birds gotta go away. What's more, snapped the Oncer, his dander was up, let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glup and also Sloppity Slop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, dirty old Onceler man, you. So dirty. You're glupping the pond where the humming fish hum. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gum. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. I hear things are just as bad up in Lake Erie. Now the fish gotta go away. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my right, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone needs." And at that moment we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a snickering smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. Chop down the last tree. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, we all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was a big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backwards glance, and he lifted himself up by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he heisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. He picked himself up. And all the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long ago, but each day since that day I sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about with all my heart. But now, says the one, so now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Nothing will get better unless you care a lot. So, catch, calls the one, sir. He let something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last truffula seed, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clear water and free to fresh air, grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack, and the Lorax and all his friends may come back. He threw him down a seed. Oh, and that's the end. Well, I hope you like that, Araceli. This video is getting long, so I gotta go. What did we learn from that? That we should be nice to animals and to nature and to ponds and that kind of stuff, because we need trees and animals and ponds and oceans and the beach more than we need things and stuff and toys and clothes and shoes and all that. Okay? Well, this is it. I'll see you later. Bye. I love you. I don't want to leave, but I got to. Bye. Bye. I love you. I miss you. I think about you every day, okay? Every single day. Bye. Mwah.